Hey guys, it's Shy and welcome back. For today's video, we are going to be playing around with the Wild Nothing palette from Colourpop. I saw this online and I really liked the color story within it. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. So it's pretty basic, to be honest. It's a lot of really neutral everyday tones. We've got some shimmers in there, but I just thought it was a really good everyday palette. And that's really all I use nowadays is just everyday colors. So I did get that. And then I also picked up the Freckle Pen in the shade Soft Brown. I already have natural freckles, but most of the time when I put on makeup, they go away. So we might be playing around with this a little bit as well. I've already primed with my First Aid Beauty Pores Be Gone Matte Primer, and I am going to quickly build my face of Mascara Beauty. So I am going to take the Mascara Beauty buffing brush and I'm going to dip into the shade Candlelit and pop this right under my eyes. Basically just in all the highlighted parts of my face. Next, I'm going to take Sandy on my 30-second hack brush and put it all over the rest of the face. And this is like my perfect foundation color. I am going to take Indigo on a Moda 235 contour brush. And I'm going to put Indigo all along my jawline. And this is what going to be my contour color, but it is a warmer contour color, so I really like it. And then I'm just going to stipple a little bit around there and then just a tiny bit right here. Now that that is all blended together, I'm going to contour my nose out really quick. I use the Moda BMX 245 Sculpt brush and I'm going to dip into the shade Shadow, and I like to go right down the sides of my nose. This is going to help slim it out a little bit, and then I take it right underneath and that's going to cut it off a little bit, and then just right across the top. There we go. And then I'm using like really light brush strokes with it too, and then I'm just going to take my sponge and gently pat it out. So my base is all done except for a highlight, and it is time to dive into this palette. I think the first thing I'm going to do is dip into, I guess, top down, and we'll kind of go from there. I'm going to take it on a really large fluffy brush. This is a Moda 430 crease brush. And let me grab a mirror, because of course this doesn't have a mirror in it, which drives me nuts. Like, I wish Colourpop would just charge a little bit more and give us a mirror, because this drives me absolutely insane. So I'm going to put this right in the crease. That doesn't show up on my skin tone at all. You would have to be really fair or use this as like a cut crease color. So we're gonna move right along. I'm gonna actually dip into Vagabond, which is like this more brown toned color, and hope for the best. Okay, that's more pigmented, that's pretty. These are very soft. This is not gonna work for a lot of skin tones, I can tell you that right now. But again, I'm reviewing this, so hopefully if you're watching this and you're more tanned than I am, you can stop yourself from buying this palette. Because these shades just are not all that deep, so, but they are very pretty if you are more fair. This is going to be a good fair palette. And I mean, not every palette is gonna work for every single person, but like the more people it works for, the better. But let's see, it is building up a little bit more. It is blending out beautifully. I'm not noticing anything patchy with that color so far. Let's see if we can deepen it a little bit with that Come Together shade. It's a little bit more of a mauve-y tone, and I'm gonna see how these two layer together. I mean, it's deepening it slightly. Honestly, I could see myself gravitating towards these colors every single day, but I do a really like light eye every day. But if you wanted something that's gonna add depth, this is not the palette. This is what we have so far, just so you guys can kind of see. I mean, it built up a little bit, nothing crazy. I'm gonna take a PC22 little small fluff brush, and I'm gonna dip into that Come Together shade, and I'm gonna drag it along the lower lash line, just to give this a little bit of depth here. next I am going to grab a flat brush. This is an AOA Studios E131, and I'm going to dip into that Crystal Cove shade. It's this one right up here that's very light. So it does have shimmer in it, but it's a matte with shimmer. So it's like one of those Tati Beauty like sequin shades, I think it was, or maybe sequin was you guys know what I'm talking about. Someone knows what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm going to take that and I'm going to use that to just kind of do a cut crease style moment here. I really like doing that with a really light eyeshadow because it's going to come off as a matte on my eye. So this one is very pigmented. Look at that. That shade is fabulous for doing the type of eye look that I do basically daily. So I'm going to be reaching for that shade a lot. And just making sure that it is packed in there. And I'm going to go over this one just a tiny bit more. And then I'm going to go back in with my fluffy brush and that Come Together shade. And I'm going to just kind of drag it through the outside here so that this is all blended together. And then go back right above that color into the crease just so that it does stay a little bit more concentrated. Make sure the outer edges are all blended. I always like to make sure that the color is blended out to my brow because I always do a winged liner. Well, not always, but like 90% of the time, and it just helps it all connect a little bit better. And then for the inner corner, I am going to use this Sultan shade right here, which is like a more gold shimmer. And I'm going to take that on a BH Cosmetics number 13 brush. I'm gonna go and dry first and see how that goes. Did like almost nothing. Is this one a Super Shock? It might be, damn it. It's okay, I'm gonna switch my brush. So I have, this one's a little bit more densely packed. It's a Moda 441 pointed liner brush, and this should help us get a little bit more payoff. Oh yeah. Just since it's a little bit more densely packed, and this one I think is more of a Super Shock formula. At least it feels kind of squishy like that. This is gonna be great. Oh yeah, because even when I put my brush in, I'm getting like that little bit of imprint in there. I don't know if you guys can tell, so I'm like 99% sure this is a Super Shock formula, which I love. I might actually use this as highlight today as well. I love using their Super Shock shadows as highlighter because you can really build them up or tone them down as you want. So I am going to take my finger with that shade and just hit the high point right in there. This is going to be a really natural highlight, but I think it's going to be really pretty. Hitting, of course, the tip of the nose and right here. Ooh, I actually really like that as a highlight shade. That's really pretty. It's very like a natural highlight, but I think it works. Okay guys, and this is the look all done. Definitely a very natural look. I really like the way it turned out though. I just did a nude lip that I always do, and my Ardell lashes that I always do. Now let's talk about this Freckle Pen really quick. So I was gonna start doing it on my nose. I was just playing around with it. It's literally a felt pen that just makes these dots. I would say do it maybe before powder, just because I mean, it looked like felt dots on my nose. So I have to play around with this a little bit more. But as far as the palette goes, so I'm torn because I love the way this turned out. It's very natural. It's my total vibe. I can literally see myself reaching for this every day, but I don't think that this would work for a lot of people just because of the way that the shades are. Like this being the deepest shade, like these two are basically the same. I mean, my eyeshadow is barely there. Now, I like that look personally, but I think a lot of people would be irritated if they got this palette, so I just want to be honest about that. There's some really pretty shades in here too, though. Like if you want to do a more coral look, you could do these or these two right here, or put this like green tone shade all over the lid and smoke that out. This Spirited shade is really pretty. It's very sparkly. That's a Super Shock as well. but that one is really, really pretty. It's right there. If you're looking for a really natural everyday palette and you're not much more tan than my skin tone, I think this is a really good everyday one to pick up. But if you are any deeper than me, I mean, these colors are barely showed up on me, so I don't know how good that would look on you. I feel like it could look kind of ashy, and that's the last thing that we're going for. Now, I normally love Colourpop palettes. I have so many. I've reviewed so many on this channel. So just a little bit bummed that there isn't like more of a variety, because this looks darker than it is on my eye, obviously. Like, that's this shade. So I'll let you guys sound off in the comments and let me know your thoughts. But again, I do see myself personally reaching for it all the time because I love the way that this turned out. It was very soft glam. I liked using that one shade as a highlighter, and I really like the way my makeup turned out. I think it's really pretty. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Again, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you next video. Bye guys.